Alan Wake, a game by Remedy Entertainment, was released in 2010 for the Xbox 360, and as somebody who never owned a 360, this game passed me by. But after finishing Control and being told countless times by strangers on the internet, did you know that it's set in the Alan Wake universe? I thought, well, this is a game I should really check out. Hi, my name is Penri, and in this series I go back and visit games that I missed the first time round and see if they're worth the wait. So grab your flask of coffee, grab a flashlight and turn on your old CRT TV and let's jump into the surreal world of Alan Wake.
I've always had a vivid imagination, but this dream unsettled me. It was wild and dark and weird, even by my standards. So yes, it began with a dream. Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I'd seen the hitchhiker too late. He was dead. I was convinced they'd put me in jail and I would never see Alice again. Suddenly, his body was gone.
That was a good intro. This section is essentially now the tutorial section. It introduces the basic mechanics, combat, story cues, and so on. It is very much on the nose when it comes to the light v dark theme. You, Alan, have a flashlight, which is, well, the light, and the enemies are covered in a dark wisp, which is, well, the dark. As I said, on the nose. Let's talk about the enemy and the combat. The enemies are referred to as Taken, possessed people who are covered in this dark smoke. And in this intro, the man we knocked down at the start is currently hunting us down. You use the light from your torch to break the dark, which then enables you to give damage. Overall, I really like this combat system. It's not super complex, but it is simple, effective, and gives a nice little extra challenge before you aim and shoot. Alan can dodge and run, although he does run like a man who has smoked every day for the last 80 years. I do kinda like the fact that Alan moves like a regular person. I mean, he is just a writer, and it feels like that. I don't think this game would have quite worked if his skill level was like, I don't know, Leon Kennedy. In the distance, there's a lighthouse, which is our current main objective, as shown here. As we progress to the level, there will be street lights which act as checkpoints and a place to regain our health. We learn about puzzles, crouching, dodging, and so on. This is such a good introduction to the game. It sets the mood, the theme, the aesthetics, and the mystery, the gameplay. I'm already really excited for this. The climax ends with us running away from the dark mist as it hurls objects at us. And at the end, Alan wakes up. Hey, I just realised that's a pun.
Alan, wake up. Shh, baby, just another nightmare. Everything's fine.
We find ourselves on a boat sitting next to Alice, Alan's wife. Alan Wake is a psychological action thriller heavily inspired by Twin Peaks, Stephen King, metafiction and supernatural mystery. The story follows Alan Wake, a best-selling writer who hasn't produced a book in 2 years and is suffering from creative burnout, depression and increasingly severe nightmares. His relationship with his wife Alice has become strained, largely because Alan refuses to talk about his writer's block, while Alice is trying desperately to help him out of his dilemma. That is basically the long and short of it. On the boat we meet a couple of people, one of whom is the radio show host of the town. Alan kindly asks him,
Look, Mr. Maine, I'm on vacation. In fact, I'd appreciate it if we could keep my being here just between the two of us.
and he agrees.
Fair enough. You can trust me to be discreet. Not a hard man to track down if you change your mind, though.
Alan and Alice arrive at Bright Falls, a quiet, rustic mountain town in Washington. The town is preparing for its annual Deer Fest and in the early scenes set a peaceful, rural atmosphere. We arrive at the cafe and Alice asks Wake,
I'll go fill her up while you get the key. I'll pick you up here in, say, 15 minutes?
Sure.
At the cafe, we are immediately recognised by Rose, which annoys Alan.
I'm looking for...
Mr. Wake. Alan Wake. Oh, God! I am your biggest fan. I know people say that all the time, but I really am.
I'm glad to hear that.
Rose.
Rose, I'm looking for Mr. Stuckey. Carl Stuckey?
Carl? Oh, of course, Mr. Wake. He must have gone to visit the restroom. He'll be back in a moment.
We're told that Stuckey, the man with the key, is in the back. As we arrive, a woman tells us,
Don't go in there, young man. You can hurt yourself in the dark.
we ignore her plead, go anyway, and are met with a mysterious old woman
Hello?
dressed in black.
Mr. Stuckey?
Carl couldn't make it. Unfortunately, he was taken ill. But I have the key for you and instructions on how to get to the lake.
Okay.
I wish you a good stay in my cabin.
Which is, ridiculously creepy. The old woman slyly hands Wake the key into the cabin on the lake, claiming Stuckey couldn't come. As we leave, Stuckey comes stumbling out.
Mission accomplished. The key and the directions.
My hero. I got some flashlights, just in case.
Hey, wait! Mrs. Wake! Your keys!
This year carries on with the theme that things aren't quite as they seem. The cabin is isolated, old, and sitting directly on the lake. Alan instantly hates it. I, however, absolutely love it. We do a little mini game where we get the generator going. Alan learns that Alice has brought a typewriter and prepared a working area for him, as well as arranged for Alan to see some doctor to help him. She wants him to start writing again. He wants a vacation. They argue.
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Alan storms out. Classic argument. Whilst Alan looks over the lake, he hears Alice screaming.
Alice!
He rushes back inside just as Alice is dragged into the lake by unseen forces. Without thinking, he dives in after her.
Oh no!
Wake up.
Alice?
After some weird, strange flashbacks, Alan wakes up behind the wheel. I do hope this waking up thing does become the main way we progress the story. Twice in a row is enough. Alan Wake is a very linear game. We have a cutscene, a destination, and we need to go from point A to point B. And in between these points, there are enemies or puzzles. I'm actually a massive fan of this type of linear gaming. I feel it's had a pretty negative rep over the last couple of years, but for games like this, it works really well. There's a decent amount of exploration to do as well, as we can find hidden chests, usually highlighted by these handy yellow arrows.
Eerie hand-painted graffiti was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest of supplies near it.
Coffee flasks, TV shows to watch, which is a series called Night Springs, which I do believe is a reference and a homage to Twilight Zone. Also, there's these manuscript pages of a book titled Departure, written by Alan
The
himself.
loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
Yet, he has no memory of writing it. It is written in his own style, describing events that hasn't happened yet. These pages predict future encounters, betrayals, jump scares, and major plot events, and I really, really, really love this. It leans into that metafiction story, and it gives you a sense of anxiety. You know something is going to happen, so you kind of tiptoe your way around the map waiting for it. I just think it's such a good way to build tension and suspense. There's a section where we come across Carl Stuckey, the man we were supposed to get the key from at the start, but this time, he's a taken.
Two premium cabins for rent in...
Oh, hell.
As we run away from him, the environment around us falls and we enter the cabin. Stuckey slams the door with an axe, very Shining-esque.
I had to figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stuckey would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
He then pushes the cabin off a cliff, which is just awesome. After that, we make our way down to the petrol station. We shoot some enemies, solve some puzzles, and collect some stuff. Pretty standard gameplay. As we push on, we come across our first boss, or maybe it's a mini-boss. Anyway, it's Carl Stuckey, but he's just not a normal Taken. Oh, no. He's a fast Taken. It's a pretty standard fight. It's all about aiming the flashlight until the guy can take damage. A couple of bangs in the head, and boom, he's down. Oh, also, the flare gun is OP as shit. After the fight, we make our way to the petrol station, and I met with Sheriff Sarah Breaker.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen, I was in a car crash. My wife Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head.
We tell her the events that just happened, and she takes us back to the lake to show that it was lost about 30 years ago by a volcano. Alan, visibly confused, starts panicking, and Sarah, understandably, thinks he's nuts.
A candy-colored clown they call the Sandman.
And now there's a song and a title card? Okay. Previously? Oh, okay. I'm not sure what to do with this, but anyway, so far, I am fucking loving this game. We have a little flashback scene here, just a nice way to flesh out the character's personality. Most importantly, we learn that Alice is really, really scared of the dark, and Alan makes up a story about a clicker that will magically bring light and scare the monsters away.
Switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy.
I was never really a massive fan of the 90s, early 2000s sci-fi programs, such as X-Files and Twin Peaks and so on, but I feel like the cheesy dialogue and the acting here reflects these programs well. Back to the present day, Alan has been checked over by the doctor and is okay. He has said nothing about what happened earlier, and I don't blame him, because it would sound insane.
I'm okay. My head's fine.
While talking to the sheriff, we get a phone call.
Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here.
Oh shit, someone has Alice and she's alive. So we make our way outside like we were told. As we pass a prisoner, he pleads for Alan to turn on the light. I do. I wonder, does this do anything to the story? I looked it up. It does nothing. At the junker, we find the driving license. He was telling the truth. Just a quick little search for other things in the area and backed into the police station. Ooh, the TV's on.
Reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
What is going on here? Anyway, the doctor is here.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman.
Alan gives him a good right hook, then enters.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client! Who are you? I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent.
Barry is Alan's agent and longtime friend. Barry kind of provides the comic relief, but he's also a very emotionally grounded and loyal friend. Barry's reactions are also very human. He freaks out exactly the way a normal person would when shadow monsters start sprinting out of the woods. I like Barry.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him.
So Barry believes Alan, and that's all we need right now.
I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park.
We catch up with Rusty and he gives us a key to the cabin. We stay there until the time comes to meet the kidnapper at Lover's Peak.
Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her.
This is not a goddamn debate, Barry.
The acting is a little, well, it is cheesy, but I guess that's the charm. I can't help but laugh at these serious sections. Also, Barry sneezes when dust flies around. In my head, I'm Alan Wake. In reality, I'm probably Barry in this story. The main objective is always shown under the minimap. Head for Lover's Peak. So, we do. Again, it's point A to point B. What I love about Alan Wake is that it uses the journey from A to B to flesh out the story. Alan talks to himself as we progress, giving us constant narrative on what needs to be, or a nice condensed version of what's just happened. It's a really nice way of keeping the story flowing. As we get closer to our destination, we get a nightmarish flash, and we hear the screams of Rusty pleading for help.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming!
He's been attacked, and he does not look good.
Mr. Wake? Oh, hell. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay, so off we go to find the fuse box. Oh shit. As we head back to Rusty, we kill some enemies. We find these weird black goo on the floor. They hurt. Oh, and Rusty's now gone. But there's a massive hole in the wall. Oh, a boss fight again. Oh, it's the same as Carl's. Okay, that's a bit disappointing. I thought maybe each mini-boss would have had their own unique challenge, but hey-ho, we still need to head over to Lover's Peak. This section is when I started to really get into the game. I like how at this point we can see the bridge, the light clearly making it obvious that's the path. There's these signs that give information about the area you are in, really makes the world lived in. There's nice little pockets of, here, have some time to explore, and right, time to fight for your life. There is so much stuff to explore and pick up. I won't be showing everything in this video, but the world building in this game is just outstanding. Hey, we're down by the bridge, and look, that's where we were. Oh, I love it. Well, that's a big tree. Lover's Peak this way. Ah, okay, the gate's closed. We need to find a way through. Yes, it did take me about 5 minutes before I realised I just simply jump over this. We jump on a cable cart and, yep, it obviously breaks. We're ambushed. But wait, help is here.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming.
Oh, hang on.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Oh, this is not good. Again, I absolutely love these moments of explanation. It's just like a novel. You have dialogue followed by internal monologue of the character, and it just works so well. Anyway, we now don't have a gun, but we do have flares and a companion. We act as backup while the kidnapper takes care of the taker. And we now enter this part. As much as I enjoy the combat in Alan Wake, I sometimes feel like some elements have been shoehorned in. When it's Alan versus like 2, 3, 4 Taken, it works really, really well. You dodge and you move around, you break the shield and then you take them out. But, for some reason, maybe the suit to the top made the decision, maybe they needed a way to flesh out the game, I don't know. But they decided to have these sections of wave combat. And a wave of enemies come at you and you need to fight them off. It just doesn't work. It would be fine if the camera was just a little bit further out and we had a better view, but enemies just pop up from behind you and there's no clear hint that the enemy is there. It can get really, really frustrating, especially later on in the game. It's not enough to ruin the game fully, but it's enough that when these sections appear, I just can't help but groan. After a fairly frustrating section, Alan confronts the kidnapper.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her now.
And we are back by ourselves. I find myself looking in every nook and cranny in these sections. I love exploring the game and... Oh, you mother! Hey, can you shoot these cans? Oh, yeah you can. Nice. We kill more enemies. We find more pages. We see someone has written messages that can only be read when the light touches them. There's a nice little puzzle inside an abandoned factory. We come across a Taken with a chainsaw. Shit! Again, these sections of combat work really, really well. If it's you versus a small group of enemies, one of them is a big boy and you've got to switch between flashlight and shooting, it's an adrenaline-fueled combat, not hope for the best combat. Another TV. I won't show them all, but these TVs basically explain to you what is going on in the world. Alan is trapped inside a story that he doesn't remember writing. This is where Alan starts to understand the rules. Story needs escalation. Story needs conflict. Stories need structure. You can tell Sam Lake loves the art behind writing. Oh, cool, you can drive a car. Okay, I guess we jump in and we mow down some enemies and immediately have to leave the car. Well, that was a bit pointless. Again, I feel like this was a last minute addition. Doesn't really need to be here. I may just be overly critical, but the car sections they're just unneeded. We finally make our way back to the lodge and Barry is being attacked by possessed birds. Surprisingly, it was pretty fun taking out these birds. After a quick combat, we enter cutscene time.
The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Ooh, Rose has some pages, although she clearly sounds a bit different.
I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
I know.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner.
Good.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Can you tell me where?
Oh, they're TV episodes. I get it now. They're episodes, like a TV show. Right. Okay. That took a little bit too long for me to figure out. So, the kidnapper wants the rest of the pages from Alan.
Scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
He wants them delivered to him at the Brightfall coal mine in 2 days. Alan tries to write, but physically can't. Rose rings Barry to say that she has the rest of the pages. Guess it's time to go see Rose. We also learn that an FBI agent named Nightingale is after us. Oh god, this story is coming together like a fine soup. We are met by...
Help you folks? Name's Randolph.
And he kindly takes us to Rose's trailer.
Rose,
Yes,
my manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry? She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al,
Oh. Barry! What? What?
Oh, wait, no. It's drugged. Alan has a vision. A voice tells him,
"It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on. You must turn the lights on."
And then he's woken up by Barbara.
Back to work, boy.
Again, with the Alan waking. The TV turns on, and this time we learn about Thomas Zane. This name is very important.
She's worked with another writer under similar circumstances, Thomas Zane. The genre...
It also tells us, the players, the game is now changing into a horror game, which is a really nice touch. Rose is a mess and Barry is still out cold, so guess we're alone again. There's a page beside the trailer revealing that Randolph has called the cops on us. Oh shit, things are gonna get wild. And just like that, the cops are here, including FBI Nightingale, who is absolutely fucking insane.
You're under arrest. You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face.
I guess we're running from the cops as well now. Point A to point B through the forest again. We pick up one page that calls Barbara the Darkness, who seems to love writers. As said earlier, the story is becoming a horror game, so as we make our way through the forest, we hear screams from the police in the distance and the sound of a monster echoing through the land. There's definitely a shift in theme here. The helicopter finds us and yells, "There's nowhere to run!" But this is a video game. There's always somewhere to run. As we run away, the helicopter is attacked, and down she goes. I guess thank you, dark thing? We find a gate. Objects are now possessed by the dark. Interesting. A quick little light puzzle, and bam! The darkness is gone. We are currently making our way to the radio station, and it's back to point A to point B with some enemies in the way. We also find some pages that calls it the Dark Presence. A couple more sections of shooting and exploring, and we're at the radio station.
Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
But so is Nightingale,
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown!
who just starts shooting. This, of course, annoys the sheriff.
There's a civilian in there!
Side note, I love the fact that Nightingale calls Alan Wake by different authors. I genuinely find that funny. Alan runs away. Absolute cinema. And we are back on the run. The story is the real driving force of this game. In defense of linear gaming, I don't think this game would be as good if it was too open world. The beats of the story followed by these sections of traveling works incredibly well. It gives you time to reflect, gives you time to find these pages and really expand the story. You can go off the main path and find hidden clues which rewards exploration, but it's not too open that you end up walking aimlessly. It's just brilliant. You know what's not brilliant? Objects that are flung at you, that are incredibly difficult to dodge and take a shit ton of damage. So we call this Annoying Bridge version 1.0. We reached the objective location and we now need to find the car. This area is mostly enemy killing area. And it's time for another boss. This time it's a bulldozer. I guess this is definitely different from the other boss fight. I don't know what happened, but I lucked out here and I took it down pretty easily. I don't think it was meant to be this easy. Anyway, we eventually find a car and we drive off.
The coal mine wasn't far now.
And it's now daytime. We are close to the coal mine. This section kinda reminds me of Half-Life 2 driving section. You just jump in and out of a vehicle and just explore, and you pick up items and clues or whatnot. After a rather intense action-packed section, this is a nice palate cleanser. We arrive, but we arrive too early. It doesn't matter, because he doesn't even show up.
The bastard never showed up.
We get a phone call.
Wake.
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
This part of the game is just filled with enemies and objects being thrown at you. It really is a test of patience, and I died a good handful of times. However, there's a couple of cool moments. The open area where you can shoot canisters that blow up enemies is really cool, and an area where you just mow down enemies in a car, and an old tractor being flung at you. Why do they take so much damage? Jesus! We get more birds to fight off. An old mine shaft with puzzles. Finding pages and these puzzle areas are definitely my favourite parts of the game so far. It's really nice when you can use the environment around you to progress through the game. Again, it just makes the world feel more lived in. More birds, more pages. Another cable cart. This time the birds attack you, and once again you fall off. Here is another example of enemies that attack you from behind, and it's so difficult to predict. It's the equivalent of saying, I'm not mad, just disappointed. It's not bad, I'm just disappointed. We eventually arrive at the location, but things aren't quite as it seems. I'll be honest with you folks, I have no idea what's going on anymore. Let's do a quick little recap. Alan Wake and Alice arrive at Bright Falls for a vacation. However, Alice has actually arranged for Alan Wake to go see a doctor to help with his writer's block. They have an argument. During the argument, Alice gets dragged into the lake and Alan Wake jumps in after her. Then, we lose a week of our life. We find out that the entire area has been taken over by this dark presence and people have turned into Taken. We get a phone call. Somebody has kidnapped Alice and we go hunting for them. An FBI agent called Nightingale is also after us. Once we reach the kidnapper, he then gets dragged away by the dark presence and Alan Wake gets thrown into the lake. And this is where we are. Okay, so now we are at Dr. Hartman's clinic. All seems calm and content. We walk and we talk with him, but something feels odd. Something's not quite sitting right. He really wants us to write.
Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
We meet two old guys, the same two guys we saw at the beginning of the game. The Anderson brothers tell us to go to their farm. There's a message, and they have a special stash. First thing though, we need to get out of this place.
Zane! You're alright, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's gotta go to the farm.
The Anderson farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
We head back to the room to write, but again, Alan can't. Oh, something's going down.
I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
The Anderson brothers have taken over, and we got the keys to Hartman's office. We pick up a page that explains that Barry is here, asking for us, but it seems like Hartman has taken care of him. There's a tape recorder of Alice talking to Hartman. She explains she feels Alan is getting more violent, and he's getting more and more frustrated himself for not writing. Also, there's a painting of Hartman and the kidnapper. They seem to be working together. I will say this again. The way this game builds the story and builds the world is just outstanding. Every time there's dialogue, it just builds and builds. Nothing is there for no reason. It is just such a well-crafted story. At Hartman's office, we grab the pages, including more, and Hartman enters the room. But so does the dark presence. I love Alan's smile here. As we escape, the dark presence attacks us, manipulating the world around us. Outside, Barry is there, but he's on the other side of the gate, and we need to find a way around. One thing I've noticed with the game is, at the end of each chapter, we're usually fully kitted out with guns and flares and so on. But at the beginning of each chapter, we go back to having nothing. It's not something that I'm particularly annoyed about, but it's an interesting pattern. As soon as we get the flashlight back, things start to attack us, and oh boy, they are angry. There's a part here where you gotta go through a maze, and it is single-handedly the best part of the combat section this game has done. The constant fear of an enemy around the corner, the suspense, the quick dodging and attacking. It feels like this is what the game wanted combat to be, but for some reason it isn't. After the maze and some shooting is quickly followed by Boss Hartman, but not only that, there's birds as well. He is rather easy to dispose of, and with one flare gun at the birds and boom, that's that. The flare gun is so OP and I love it. We find Barry, kill some enemies, open the gate, jump in the car, and we are out of there.
Al, please tell me we're headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
So I guess we're off to Anderson's farm. Guess it's a quick little drive and
Find it.
Look out!
no, of course not, no.
I had lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, this time we lose guns mid-chapter. Time to head over by foot. More dodging and more fighting. We see a car driving away from the farm.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was.
Out of nowhere, Zane speaks to us.
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
So Zane is the one who's been leaving us the pages. Interesting. I am still confused, but I'm also incredibly excited. The car was heading to this cabin, which we've arrived. As we enter, we hear screaming up from stairs.
Anybody here?
We see a guy dying on the floor. His buddy, Danny. Something is wrong with him. I wonder if we'll actually see Danny.
Let me guess. Danny, huh?
Oh, there's Danny. We finally reached the farm and Barry is there.
Al! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them!
God damn.
This set piece is really cool and really interesting and really well done. But oh my fucking god, did I die so many times here. I'm not at all gonna blame the game here. This is fully a skill issue on my half. I don't know why. I didn't realize I was just meant to stay in the light and I decided to run around the entire open area and just get my ass handed to me time after time. I really wanted to enjoy this spectacle because it is a really cool idea, but my incompetence overshadowed the kind of spectacleness of this area. And I just felt really deflated afterwards. Nothing to do with the game at all. That's not the game's fault one bit. I kind of understand what the game was trying to do, but I was so not ready for this part, and I messed up so badly that once it was done, I was just frustrated and just really, really annoyed. but nothing to do with the game. That was just, I had a stupid moment for some reason. Nothing to do with the game, it's just my skill issue. I was just being an idiot at this point. Spectacle wise and set piece wise, just really, really good. Barry joins us and is off to exploring again. This section felt a little bit too long for me. We fight another vehicle boss, this time it's a combine harvester. More enemies, more puzzles. It's generally one of the only times so far I felt disconnected from the game. But anyway, we reach the farmhouse and we get drunk off the Andersons' moonshine and listen to music. After drinking heavily for a couple of hours, both Alan and Barry pass out, and in this time, Alan gets a vision. This section I really, really love. I think it's so well planned and executed. We finally get to see what happened in that week Alan can't remember. We act like a third-person camera, seeing the events happen as if we're in a dreamlike state. We see Alan hearing Alice scream. We see him fail to save Alice. We also see the Dark Presence speaking to him, instructing him, telling him what to do, which is then followed by this incredible fourth wall jump scare.
Yes. All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back. No. I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish. To interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. It will know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my barber a long time ago. She looks so old.
I'd woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape. The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night. I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
That was a lot of information. We wake up at the police station, again with the waking. Before we go any further, I'm going to say that this story is insanely good. I actually love how each chapter ends on like a cliffhanger. It's like a ridiculous amount of lore dump at you, and then when the title card comes up, you just sit there, mouth open with a holy shit face. It is genuinely addictive, and I am so impressed. As we are stuck in the prison cell, Alan has another vision episode.
Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead... Wait a minute. I know this...
The fact that he had read the pages and realized it was coming true, but the page itself references that he had seen the moments before, that's just... that... come on, that's amazing. After we leave the prison cell, we are joined by the sheriff, and this makes the combat so much more bearable. We are currently making our way through Bright Falls, which now feels very, very different. A bus is flung at Barry, we fight off a horde of enemies, make our way through to the church, through the cellar, and oh my god!
Guess that one saw the light.
Oh, thank God for Barry. There's not much new to say about these sections. It's pretty much travelling and fighting like the others, but this time with help. It's not like it's getting boring or anything. It's just there's nothing new to say. It's just, here's point A, there's point B, make your way there and kill some things. It's predictable, yet highly enjoyable. As we reach the helicopter, the Dark Presence also appears. As they boot the heli up, Alan takes down the enemies. Plenty of ammo, plenty of supplies, pretty easy, off we go.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
Hold on! Ow!
Fish!
And of course, we fall out. New objective time. Cross the yard. This part's actually really cool. You gotta activate this bridge which rotates around. You then have to jump on the rotating bridge and make your way across. It's a nice little puzzle. More fighting, but this time with the help of the helicopter. Nice. After fighting off what seems like 1,000 enemies, we arrive at the power plant, and we are greeted by...
Hold it right there.
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it.
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time. Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you.
Hey, she's the one who warned us at the start. We should have listened to her. This room is ridiculously bright, but unfortunately, the transformer was damaged. And guess who has to go fix it? That's right, us. Out we go. Bang, bang, bang. Puzzle time. On it goes. Bang, bang, bang. And we're back. There's a huge lore dump here, so I'll try and make sense of it. The region surrounding Calden's Rake is like this supernatural area where artist creativity manifests into physical reality. Whatever is written within it shapes the world. The Dark Presence, which lives underneath Cauldron Lake, survives by influencing creative individuals, artists, writers, poets, to create stories it can inhabit and use it to break free into the wider world. Previously, it manipulated Thomas Zane, the poet from the 70s. Zane attempted to write his lover back from the dead, but the Dark Presence corrupted the story. Zane eventually destroys the cabin, erased himself from reality using narrative logic, and created safeguards to stop the entity from returning. Cynthia Weaver turned out to be Zane's last living disciple. She has been waiting for decades for the writer who will come to finish the war against the Dark Presence. This would be Alan Wake. She's also the one who's been writing stuff in the yellow paint and is guarding the well-lit room, which is where we are heading now, through the tunnel. I think that makes sense. I've definitely missed out some important facts. I've actually had to watch a lot of Alan Wake explaining videos to kind of make heads and tails of what's actually happening, but I think that's a decent enough condensed version. As we progress down the tunnel, Alan gets a phone call from Barry. Shit is going down. Alan obviously wants to go save them. Weaver, on the other hand, is not that keen. Alan ignores her and goes ahead anyway. That is exactly how I would fall. We meet up with them, fight off enemies, everything is going well. Well, maybe just a little too well. We are now back by ourselves, and we need to find an alternative route around via the annoying bridge version 2.0. This bridge section it's just horrendous. I don't know who thought the objects flying at you was a good game mechanic. It is horrendous. And the troops are back together, and we finally get to enter the well-lit room.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away.
This is where the game heavily leans into the metafiction. Zane wrote part of Alan's childhood, or Alan wrote Zane, or they're each influencing their own life through narrative from the book they've written, which then rewrites a part of their life. I don't get it, but we're going with it. In the box is the clicker, the same clicker that Alan had told Alice about, and this clicker becomes Alan's ultimate weapon.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
We have another flashback. Alan is clearly hungover. He watches himself back on a talk show program, clearly uncomfortable. Oh hey, that's Sam Lake, that's the creator of the game. This is just some more backstory information. Alan is burnt out, he's frustrated, they're going on holiday. I wonder what that's going to be like. Back in the modern day, we have the power of the click. Kind of like Thanos' snap power, I guess. And it's daytime, we drive. And now it's nighttime. Okay, things are really getting out of hand here. One cool thing about this section is you can stumble across Nightingale's hotel room. Again, this is just really good world building. You can't exactly interact with anything, but he's not just a character anymore. He was here, he was living here. It's just a really cool touch. A couple more car journeys, we kill some more enemies, and we reach Annoying Bridge version 3.0. I don't know what it is with bridges, but fuck me, they suck goddamn much. This last part of the game just throws everything at you. Taken, fast takens, tank takens, birds, objects, puzzles, cable carts, objects that want to kill you. All of this leads to the final fight. The last boss. We just need to get close, so we strip away layer after layer using light, getting closer and closer. We attack, it reacts. We're at the edge. Alan clicks, jumps into the lake, and we wake up in our apartment.
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No.
Everything's fine. You're home.
It wasn't a dream. Everything's fine.
Wait, what? What's going on? Okay, so now there's text in front of us in a typewriter font. Oh, so we now have the power to change text to real-life objects? That's kinda cool. Okay, now we are super close. Let's do this. And we finally confront Barbara. We are face to face with the enemy. We thrust the clicker into her chest, one click, and we inject her with light. And that is the end of the Dark Presence.
I I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
After Alan's epiphany, we see Alice emerge from the lake, and the town has gone back to this happy little place. We see a montage of the town folk getting ready for Deerfest, and the game ends with this line.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Alan Wake, the main game. There's actually 2 DLCs to go, so let's quickly talk about these. I'm not going to show them as much as I did in the main game, just my quick thoughts and opinions on them. If this was the only DLC, it would have ruined the entire game for me. This DLC, for me, is genuinely horrendous. It's all about action, and for a game that does not do well with action, it was just horrific to play. Alan is now stuck in the Dark Presence world. We are accompanied by Barry, well, a version of Barry. There's one cool section with the furnaces where you flash the light at the wood and it creates fire, but much of this DLC is combat heavy and it was just annoying, especially this part. I really do like the tech turning into the objects mechanic, and the dialogue and the story is cool, but once it was done, I never want to play this DLC again. On to the second. This is probably the best DLC I have ever played. It is genuinely outstanding and it has so many elements that I loved. This simple puzzle where you swing the light, God, I wish the game had more of these types of puzzles. This part where the house rotates and you gotta find a way out. Dropping this flare down this well. This entire section of the rotating hamster wheel thing. It just reuses assets throughout the game, but oh my god, it's done so well. I feel like at this point the suits up atop just went, Sam, do what you want. And he just did, and he made the kind of game that he wanted. I can kind of really see elements of control in this DLC. Hey look, a bridge section that's not annoying. And this entire section with a lighthouse at the end. In film, TV and anime, I always love OP characters. I always love it when a character just shows up who is strong and just wipes out everybody. I always find it ridiculously cool. And this section is that in video game form. It was just awesome to make my way through the mountain and just completely annihilate enemies with the lighthouse. It was just an excellent way to end the series. It ends with a boss fight against Barry, which is kind of sad, but not really because it's not really Barry. And that there is the end of DLC 2. And the end of Alan Wake. Genuinely one of the best games I have ever played. It is without its faults, mainly with the combat, which on paper seems like a good idea. Again, I really like the light shining element. And in parts, it was actually really, really fun. But on the whole, pretty frustrating and disappointing. Where the game shines though is with the story and the world building, which is just amazing. Every word has weight to it, every detail is important. It was just outstanding from start to finish. It's not subtle with its meaning, like the whole light and dark. Light is truth, clarity, mental health. Darkness is depression and self-doubt and creative backlog stuff. It's very much an author versus story. Alan is fighting the story he wrote, and the story is literally fighting back. It hammers the home of self-doubt. It brings in the internal struggles that artists have. It is just such a well-crafted story, and I absolutely loved it. With the way that Control plays and the plot of Alan Wake, I have high hopes for Alan Wake 2, and I cannot wait to jump into that. But that's the end of the video. Alan Wake is now up there as one of my favourite games of all time. I am so glad I got to play this game, and I am so invested in the world of Alan Wake. This game was definitely worth the wait. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I hope you enjoy this new series of mine where I play old games and talk about them. It's just something fun that I wanted to do. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
It's